times you drop the balls. But when you drop the balls, what should you do? You should have a good attitude.
Get up and start again.
Get up and start again. Thank you, Kenna. That's fantastic advice. Get up and start again. But always have a good attitude when you're doing so. So this is me starting again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20!
You get up and you try again with the best attitude, right? Okay, so I'm going to try it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Yes! Done! Alright, everyone. I'm going to come back and then I'm going to do some talking about juggling, right? Juggling and balancing in life. It's just an amazing, amazing experience when you get it right, mentally. Alright, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy my juggling experience, my juggling act? So I need a lot of practice before I can say that I could walk in a circus, right? Or Cirque du Soleil. I think that would be a wonderful career for me, yes. Juggling. I thought it would be a great idea to show you the aspect of juggling, because you saw two balls in my hands and you saw how it was difficult. I kept failing, right? We had different takes before I could even get it that good, yes. But you saw that the balls would drop, because juggling isn't something that comes naturally to anyone. That's the truth. You've got to practice. I had two balls in my hands that were of the same weight, but here's my take on juggling and balancing life. And this is something that we get as a topic of discussion in several forums, right? How do we balance life? And I think that balancing of things that you have to do in your life is actually juggling. And at some point in time, one of those balls will drop, most definitely drop, right? That is because you're trying to apportion the same importance, right, to each of those balls. Here's my take on balancing and juggling. I think that everything in life has its weight. And imagine, and I'm going to use the circus again as an example of what I want to share when it comes to balancing life. So imagine that you're on a tightrope, right? So you're in a circus and there's this tightrope. I'm not sure what it is, what they call it, right? Is this tight? And then you're walking on the tightrope and you have this pole in your hands, and then you have different things on top of that, just balance on the pole, right? And then there's so much weight on one part. So what will happen? That part that you have so much weight in, with different sizes of boxes, right, would tip to this side. What is important while you're on top of that rope with one feet in front of the other? That's what I think life is, just taking one step at a time, one feet in front of the other. And then what happens is that you would have to find a way to spread the weight, so that you are balanced. And you have to do that before you take that step deep or further onto that tightrope. Because by the time you get to the middle of the tightrope, if you're not careful, you're going to fall. You're going to fall down. Well, luckily there's a safety net for you to bounce back up and everything. But the truth of the matter is that you need to spread your weight. Check the things in your life, right? And now I'm going to be a bit serious now, right? Check the things in your life. You have your work, you have your family, you have your children, you have, if you're married, you have your husband, but this conversation is really for our sisters, that are divorced or separated or widowed or just single with kids, right? One thing that is that you're trying to do a lot of things on your own. And when you're trying to do a lot of things on your own, it's crazy, right? The ball will drop. First of all, in balancing, the very first thing you need to think about when you need to balance is, I need to spread the weight. Spread the weight. I need to spread it. What should I move this way? Which one should be on the left? Which one should be on the side? Which one should I do first, right? Which one should I do next? And even when I'm doing this, should I do everything on my own? Who can I call? Who can I reach out to for support? In my book, I wrote something that was really important, and I learned so much during my time of separation. I learned to lean on support. And while we are going through divorce or separation to divorce, right? One of the things that I know women try to do as a default is that we try to handle everything on our own because we think that we are superwoman, but we're not super women. We might be super in the sense that we are able to manage ourselves in the situation that we are in, right? But the thing is that we can't handle everything on our own. We need support. I learned how to lean, how to ask for help, right? I learned to just spread that weight so that some people could handle stuff for me while I handled the other. And so I didn't feel so overwhelmed while I was handling my things, my life, right? Because I was able to spread the weight. So spreading the weight is really important. One hand can handle it all. You've got to, balance it. And you cannot balance on your own. You balance with people. They say that we're not in this world alone. That if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with people. And if you're in a situation like a divorce or separation and you have children, or if you're widowed, you have kids, or if you're a single mother, you have kids and you have your work. This is so important, especially if you're a professional woman, you have your work. There are times when you can't leave your office. There are times when you've got to be in that meeting because you've got to show up, you've got to deliver, you've got to perform, you have your KPIs, right? The times when you can't leave work, the times when you need to sit down and finish that report, or that presentation, the times when you need to be at the forefront of your team. There are times when you have a deliverable and your boss is waiting for you to, you have this timeline and your boss is actually waiting. The expectations of you, and to be honest, you've got to deliver. You have to. You spread your weight. You've got to lean on support. Very important thing to do, right? And in the end, you come out wiser, you come out more accomplished, right? And you also feel more fulfilled. And the best part is that you're like at peace. You're at peace because you know that in the end you got it all sorted, right? Yes, I think it's so important that we actually, learn to lean. Another thing that I want to talk about balancing is that as you balance life, as you balance things, as you spread that weight, right, to different people to support you, remember that support is not just domestic help. You also you might need a friend, family. Just know who to reach out to, people you can trust, especially if you have kids, people you can trust, to help you, with the kids at whatever time that you need them. Then, very important, is you also need your co-parent, right? I know that we have a lot of women out there who, because of what they went through with their ex, the ex in their life, it's so painful. They haven't been able to get over that pain, and so that means that they don't have a cordial relationship with the ex. But here's what I want to tell you. If you happen to have an ex who is responsible to a certain extent, then it is time that you lean on him for to helping with the kids or with the child. Why am I saying that? You can't do everything. And the women, we also need to understand that we're not the only ones who love our kids. The men also love their kids, right? Those kids, the father loves you. People just have different ways of showing love. But if you let your ex know that he or she is required to play a part in the children's life or in the child's life, then the person would eventually rise up to expectations. And because it's not every time that you'll be able to get support from domestic help or from your family, your friends. So you can lean on that support. That's why I talk very strongly about having a strong co-parenting relationship, because then you can actually reach out to your ex to take on some support or responsibility with the child. When I talk about support, I don't mean financial. I'm talking about spending time so that you can do other things, or you can focus on work, or you can get that thing that you need to get done. So please build that relationship, that co-parenting relationship with your ex, so that they too can be part of your support system. You need to be wise. You need to be wise. I know women, we can be so emotional, but yes, be emotional. After you're emotional, think logical, think logic and logical, because you will realize that when you need that support, it helps. It really helps you to put in the hours and the time you need to, and the focus that you need to at work, right? You don't want to be jumping everywhere thinking, oh, who's gonna help with my child, when you need to be at a very crucial meeting, because you don't want to get passed over every single time there's an opportunity at work, right, for you to show your capabilities. So you need to have your support system figured out. You need to have them in place, right? And that's one of the things that I did, and I did it really successfully, and I'm still doing so now. Now, finally, when you are spreading your weight, when you are making time for this, you're leaning on that, because you want your entire life, right, to be in order. You want to make sure that you have support for the kids, just so that you can focus. One very important thing that I have to say here is, while you're spreading that weight, make sure that you are also part of that weight that you're spreading. Yes, because you also need to spend time on you. You need to pause once in a while, to relax, to rest, and to refresh. Most of the time we take ourselves for granted. I think that we feel that we have this booster strength that just keeps on making us go go go, right? But the truth of the matter is that at one point you're gonna just fall. You could just fall and not be able to get up. Your health, your well-being is so important, right? Your physical health, your mental, your emotional. That's why you need to just take time out to rest, to relax, and just to refresh, right, yourself. And this is also what I think you need to include in your balancing of life situation. When you're spreading that weight to people, just know that some of that time that you're trying to buy, you should also buy it for yourself. Okay, this allows you, if you're in a workplace, to take some time out to just think things through, think about your work, just reflect on the things that you're doing at work and how you can do it better. You need that time to do so, because you need to be in your A game at work, as you know, because there is no excuse for not delivering, for not performing at work. So remember to always take time out for yourself. I thought I should just share this about balancing, that it's about spreading the weight, not just on you, but on everyone around you that you can trust. Oh yes, and there's one very critical area. As a professional, you're working, right? I know most of the time people are kind of like ashamed to say that this is what we're going through, that we're a single mother and this is what we're facing. But let me tell you this, it's important that you talk to your boss, you speak to your boss, right? And let your boss know your situation. This is because your boss is also a human being and should also be given the opportunity to be emotionally intelligent when it comes to handling you. There are times when you would need some support from your boss, and then support from your boss means that you need to probably leave a little early for one reason or the other, because your boss knows the situation and you're not taking it for granted. You can actually have a conversation with him or her, and then they can let you go. You're not always feeling under pressure to be super. I don't know how else to say it, right? But what I'm just trying to say is that your boss is also part of your support system, in the sense that if there's any time that you probably need to be away, maybe take a few hours off just to focus on your child, or you need to pick up your child early, or there's some PTA in school and you need to be there, which usually happens on a weekday, you can actually seek permission from your boss to do so. And that is because you have been able to share your situation with your boss, right? And then that allows you that flexibility, right, in the workplace. I mean, I'm sharing from my experience because I've been on this journey for since 2016, right? And I couldn't have been able to manage myself efficiently and effectively if I didn't come clean to my boss about what I was going through. I know women, we kind of like ashamed in the workplace because of, first you're married and then you're divorced, or you're going through a separation. It can be shameful. I felt that as well. Please, I felt that, right? I didn't even know how to say it, but I knew I had to, because I was at a point where I needed to come clean, right, with my boss. So please, you might still be ashamed, but just speak through the shame. Speak through the shame, share with your boss, and so that when you need that support from him or her, you get it. This is what I just wanted to share with you. Spread the weight, spread the weight, spread the weight. All right, so till next time, bye. I'm particularly excited today because I juggled. Bye, guys.